three, Pyro, get three with the...
Blade Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
Hard days off, Overwatch fans, as we head into the grand... Wait a second. Looks like I'm a little short for this. Give me a moment. Oh, man. Okay. Chair was a little higher than I expected. Like I was saying, we're headed into the grand finals of the Transcendence tier matchup between Tempo and the Good Boys here at the Overwatch Tranquility League. Will Tempo get Good Boys to beat it? Or will the Good Boys retrieve their victory from the jaws of Tempo? We will soon find out. My name is Discount Torbjorn, and I'll be your play-by-play for the evening, joined by Grillmaster76 on analyst and Totally 80s Laria on production. 76, how do you think this matchup's gonna go tonight?
Well, Jack, it's going to be a good one for sure. I expect a lot of things coming from both teams. No, Capital probably running it for the Good Boys. As far as Tempo goes, well, I have yet to see them play, so this is actually going to be a pretty fun one for me. That voice is killing my throat. But I think both teams are going to, come out strong tonight. This is what we've been waiting for. No?
I can agree with that for certain. I got me hammer all ready to go. So remember,
I hope. ABC, don't you, James? I hope we go to map 7, not to map 9. Okay. See?
I don't know if we'll be able to do this voice for 9 maps at PC, so please, don't cast your curses there, or I'll have to bring me hammer at you. All right. Well, folks, let's go ahead and introduce our teams for the evening. Let's go ahead and see. Coming in for the Good Boys, their starting lineup is going to be Nikolai, Mr. Mustard Man, Jack, Pinhead, Capital, and Magic. Coming in for Tempo, we will see the Willow, Prince Willie, not to be confused with Willow, the Brad, the Waffle, Tender, and Lilithine. So it looks like our first map is possibly going to be Oasis. So, looking at how these teams have fared so far this season, 76, how do you think things are going to turn out for them as we head into this control map?
Well, depending on what map we start on, it will, require either a straight-up dive, maybe double bubble, or a classic Ryan Zarya with Brawl.
Are you sure it might not include some Torbjorn?
One could only hope. Jack? Oh, wait. Why am I saying my name?
I don't know. My name's Torbjorn, so I don't know what's going on. But I agree with what you said. Maybe we'll get some legs action in there as well, folks. It'll be really interesting to see, I tell you for certain. But remember, this is a 7-map series, so just because one team takes it away at the beginning doesn't mean that they're going to make it all the way to the end. So remember, folks, if you love what you see here at Overwatch Tranquility, be sure to hit that heart and hammer that bell so you get notified every time we're online. You can also hit that subscribe button. $4.99 or a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime subscription will give you access to some amazing emotes as well as support our awesome community. Now, if our teams are ready and raring to go, let's get fired up as we go ahead and head into Oasis.
Yeah, I think Oasis is going to be our first map today. Both teams are still waiting to give us a ready. I think they're sorting around a few things first. But I want to point one thing out real quick. Mr. Gizmo, I believe you have some foot attire that matches this outfit pretty well for us. Is that right?
Oh yeah.
Do
Like
you?
any daddy always has to wear khaki shorts and the socks with the sandals.
Very nice. I approve as a daddy of many. That works out very well. I would show off the bottom of my costume, but I'd probably fall out of the chair before I was able to show that off.
I'll show mine off real quick. I have to take the
All
headphones
right,
off, though, so
let's
I can't hear
see.
you
We got
comment.
totally 80s Zarya coming in here. Well, look at that. Look at those leg warmers, folks. That's got me all hot under the beard. And look at those muscles. It's like you've been working out for quite some time.
I don't want to even explain to you how difficult it was to get these tights on. They don't make them in a booth size.
Oh, no, they don't make a lot of things in our size, I tell you that for certain. Well, as soon as our teams are ready to go, we'll get started. Let's take a look in the chat here. Looks like we got some folks saying that looks like Booth is getting quite a lot of love in there, as well as Tempo.
A lot of tempo love.
The real Chelsea saying bonk 'em. Well, I got my hammer ready. I'm ready to bonk anybody that gets out of line, let me tell you. Looking a little further down the line, it says, apparently we may want to lower the volume of the music. We may have been bopping a little too hard.
I was bopping a little hard for the first minute until I realized I didn't have Spotify muted, so...
No worries,
yes.
No worries.
That's all right.
Well, it looks like everybody is pretty excited about our matchup tonight. Seeing a lot of love so far for Tempo in the chat, but I'm sure we got some Good Boys fans out there as well. So as soon as our teams are ready and ready to go, it looks like we're just waiting on Good Boys to get things started up, and then we'll go ahead and head into Oasis.
Yeah. Now, for those who understand, Oasis, home, all scientists in Overwatch. Lord. And what scientist loves to be here most of all? The Vishkar herself, Symmetra. Yet, she's never seen on this map. What is up with that, Torb?
I am not for certain, but actually, I'm getting a little tired, so I'm gonna have to hand it over to Captain Jack here for a moment. All right, thanks so much, Torb. That's definitely going to be a hard one for you to hold on to there. But yeah, Symmetra we see every once in a while on this map. I think it's just more so the way that the control maps are designed makes it a little difficult for teams to properly set her up. Looking at maps maybe like University is kind of one that you can use to set up those teleporters and those turrets pretty well, because it's very boxed in. But other than that, there's not really a lot of room that you can work with Symmetra here. Kind of like what we were talking about before, these maps are very versatile in many ways. You can have the high ground advantage like we already see with our first map, which is going to be City Center. We can see the dive going to the high ground. We can see the Rhine Zarya. Both of these teams are incredibly agile in the compositions that they've picked so far this season. So let's see what they're coming out with here. It looks like...
Is that a Torb I see?
That do be a Torb coming in for the Brad, but I would hold off on that. We might not actually see that come out of the spawn doors.
I don't know.
But
Torb is very strong on this map, particularly.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely something we could end up seeing here. We do have the Ball Diva coming out for the side of the Good Boys, though. Very interesting. Don't see that composition run a whole lot, and it looks like the Brad sticking with our spooky theme, gonna come out on that Torbjorn.
Yeah, awesome. Like, it's just something you don't really get to see. But the Ball Diva versus the Ball Monkey, which one is the Ball going to be able to like support better?
That is going to be a good question to see how that works out. It looks like the Brad already working their way up. Turret already down the first time around, grabs a couple of headshots, and it looks like Nikolai's out of mech as the first pick comes in onto Nagic. Mr. Mustard Man following up on Dwaffle and Lilithy though, but Brad takes out Mustard Man, so it's a 4v4 on the objective right now as Prince Willie takes down Pinhead after the res comes in. They're gonna get followed up on by Jack from the high ground, but Brad and his turret are just doing a heck of a ton of damage holding on to this objective for now. Right now we see Capital on the side on that Zenyatta trying to provide a lot of damage from a distance, but not going to be able to do a whole lot when the rest of the team ain't there. It looks like Control is going to go ahead and start off for Tempo.
Yeah, you know, we were asking right at the beginning, which one is the ball going to enable more? It's more like, is the 7th man the better option right now? Because that turret plus our man Tor is just doing all the work. Early here.
EMP coming out from Willow, but it doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of follow-up on it. Prince Willie does take Pinhead out of the action. The Transcendence comes out for Capital as they go ahead and try to make their way into the objective, but Mustard Man takes down Dwaffle. Brad cutting off the choke that they were trying to move through as Tenzer pops the Coalescence. Mustard Man does grab Brad, but Tenzer getting the double, taking down both Nagic and Capital. Diva Bomb comes out, but Tenzer able to get inside before that bomb ends up taking them out of the fight. Prince Willie will end up falling to that, and Lilithy off to the side to Jack, but at 47% and climbing right now as the fight just continues onward. The feed goes strong as Tenzer just kind of sitting in the middle of the map, just holding on to this objective solo while the rest of the team keeps staggering into the action. Prince Willie holding strong right now, coming out with the minefield, ends up grabbing Nikolai there. Can they get the DMAC? It looks like they got him down to half, but that's going to be about it. Tac Visor now coming out for Jack, looking to see if they can get some value coming in on the healers, but the bubble comes in big for Dwaffle, ends up staggering them out, not being able to get the value that they are looking for. Capital off to the side right now, getting chased down by Prince Willie, falling incredibly low, but Prince Willie able to get back to the safety of the team. 83%, and the Brad is swapped over to the legs. We got double legs action coming on now. 90% and climbing for Tempo as we head to the end of the first map.
Yeah, what a huge stall and win on that long fight for Tempo. Really rolling the ball right now, especially with the Sombra and the EMP coming out once again.
EMP comes in huge, gets both the tanks as Jack and Nagic end up falling. Dwaffle coming out with the Primal Rage, looking to see if they could take down their fellow, take down the Diva on the other side. Will end up grabbing Pinhead and Capital with the help of Willow and Tenzer. As overtime ticks away, the only one left near the objective is Nikolai, gonna get DMAC and staggered out as Lilithy grabs the final blow on that. Nagic able to get back into the fight just soon enough, but I don't think it's gonna be enough for them to try to hold on to this objective. Overtime ticks away as Lilithy and Brad grab Jack and Nagic, and the first objective is secured 100-0 for Tempo.
Yeah, right now I think probably Tempo's strategy of running a stronger heal comp for area effect, especially when you have a dive tanks like you are with the Hammond and the Winston. You get the protection from the bubble from the Winston. You got Moira who can throw an orb that can follow the dive tanks. And then Willow, honest, just not really contested on the Sombra, just getting free hacks all day. Not really much follow-up on the EMPs, but hey, you know what? There's two things you can learn from an EMP. One, you can learn where everyone's at and where they at on ult charge. If they have that ult ready, then boom, you know what you got to prepare for. And they were able to stall out just because they knew the barrage was coming from Mustard.
That is true. Let's see if they've got what it takes to take them down now as we head into the Oasis Gardens. It looks like Nagic already falling kind of low right there against Prince Willie. Mustard Man able to take down the Brad from a distance and looking to follow up onto Lilithy as well, but it looks like Lilithy will get back to the safety of their team as the Pharah Mercy continues to hold control of the skies. Prince Willie able to get the DMAC onto Nikolai. So again, essentially we have 1.5 tanks for the good boys right now. Slam comes in from Nagic as Jack is able to take down Willow, and it looks like control will start off this time around for the good boys, but the fight is far from over. Hacks coming in big for Jack right there as they're able to get Dwaffle, but it looks like they're going to retreat back to the safety of their team as Lilithy takes Jack out of the action, and the feed comes in. Mustard Mustard Man getting really close onto that barrage. 85% and climbing right now as the Brad swapping over to the McCree, looking to see if they can take Nagic out of the fight. Will be successful with the Flash Fan the Hammer, which you definitely need when you're looking to take some tanks out. Jack falling and ends up taking down the Brad as the barrage comes out. Gets taken down by Lilithy, though. Only grabs Tenzer in the end. But it looks like at the 35% mark, the res continues to come in. The beat just strong from the good boys. Here comes the beat from Capital, keeping everybody up in the fight. And it looks like they will finally push Tempo off the objective as they head to the 50% mark.
Yeah, huge switch from Jack to get off the legs and go into the Sombra. You're able to shut down Prince Willie, who was creating so much space on the Hammond on City Center. And Mustard and also Capital switching off the Zenyatta, getting a little more heals with the Lucio, being able to help your team so much more. Yes, beat drop can be countered by the EMP.
That's a 4-man EMP coming in from Willow. This may be their chance to turn it around, but the 3-man EMP comes in for Jack. Deadeye looking to see if they can grab anyone on the objective. Ends up getting the D-Mech onto Nikolai as Dwaffle ends up getting the follow-up onto Jack and Nikolai. That is going to be a clear of the objective. We see the feed trying to come in as Mustard Man gets stunned out of the sky. Will end up getting taken down by Lilthy. I mean, Lilthy must be taking some notes from Bleach of Requiem there, just taking out as far as left and right. But now we will see control go over to Tempo.
Yeah, as I was trying to say before, the beat drop can be countered by the Sombra's EMP, but it's better to lose that ult than to have your Zenyatta get ulted and get killed right away. At least you can try to keep the 6-man up if Lucio even gets caught in the EMP.
That is true. Alright, Mustard Man on another barrage. Ends up getting hacked out of it, though. Not going to get the value they're looking for, and Tenzer uses the Coalescence to take him out. Hack comes in, as does the Diva Bomb, but it's just too high. Nikolai not getting the value they're looking for as the Brad using the Deadeye to take Capital out of the fight. Now with no heals on the objective, the minefields come out for both Nagic and Prince Willie, looking to see if they can hold strong. Primal Rage comes out for Dwaffle, sending Nagic into oblivion off the side of the map as the percentage continues to climb for Tempo.
I think Dwaffle was sending a clear message there saying, if you're going to run that Hammond, you want the monkey with you, not the diva. I'm just saying right now, probably having that little shield might be a little bit better, but hey, you know what? You're going to play your strengths instead of your weaknesses, and Nikolai has been doing amazing on that diva so far, so I think it's just going to be a matter of the DPS.
Oh, here we go again. EMP comes out, grabs Nagic and Nikolai, but now Jack out with one of their own, grabs the triple, but Lilithy able to get off the beat after the EMP. Gonna allow Tempo to hold strong for now as Nagic trying to come in with the big slam. Lilithy and Tenzer take down Capital and Mr. Mustard Man, and now the minefield comes out, trying to see if they can trap some of Tempo off the side. 99% and climbing, overtime ticking away now as the hack comes in onto Prince Willie, but now Dwaffle back in the fight. Deadeye comes in, Capital's down as the Brad continues to click heads, grabs Nikolai as well. And with only a 3v6 fight happening right now, it's going to be difficult for them to hold strong. The only one left near the objective is Pinhead and gets domed after the stun comes in from the Brad. Overtime ticks away, and our first map, Oasis, will go to Tempo.
What a great showing from both teams. You know, Tempo doing the 100, 0 to 100 on the first map was very huge, especially that huge stall fight. I mean, it was almost one continuous fight just on that map alone. And this one right here, Good Boys took the map early, and it almost went the same way for them. But, you know, Tempo was able to make the switches. I think running McCree to help, you know, kind of stun the Sombra helped a lot. Not running the Pharmacy definitely helped more because they were able to, you know, use the heals of the second healer where you had Mr. Mustard Man constantly having the Mercy pocket on him because he was constantly getting challenged by the McCree.
All right. I'm going to hand it back over to Torb. Thanks so much, Jack. I really appreciate it. Being able to get back in here, unfortunately, at my old age, I can't handle those fights the way that you youngsters can. Oh boy. That was an absolutely incredible fight coming in from Tempo right there, really setting the stage. for the evening against the Good Boys, but Good Boys were able to get quite a few picks in as well. What do you think about that, 76? It looks like they were using us to their advantage.
It's always good to see a good soldier go into battle once again.
That is true.
The tank line, I think, is where some of it changed.
Mm-hmm.
Ability to drop that bubble from Winston. I mean, the Mad Monkey on the Scientist. Can't ask for more help than that. Defense Matrix from Hannah Song, very useful, especially when you're running against the Deadeye like they were.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to start thinking. Maybe there's stuff we got to switch. And like I was saying before, you had Mercy Pocket on the far almost the entire round. That's one less hill. Now, they did make a good switch going off from the Zenyatta and going up to Lucio. You take away the damage boost you get from the Discord Orb, but you get an AoE heal.
Mm-hmm.
Now they can just find a way to enable Mustard Man to where he doesn't have to be constantly pocketed. It'll be perfect for them to run that far.
I think that was one of the issues that they were running into a lot of that time, is that fire provides a lot of damage in the sky, but unfortunately, on a control map, you gotta touch it. You gotta be able to capture it somehow. And if the Fire of Mercy's the only one left nearby, it's gonna be really hard to touch that objective with 6 other feet on the ground. But as we were seeing throughout that match, one of the things that I found most interesting was the fact that McCree was picking them off left and right, and I'm not even talking about the Fire of Mercy. It was more so the healers that were on the ground. Capital getting caught in the Deadeye every single time was not a good position for them to be in. And as you were saying, the Fire of Mercy was essentially getting pocketed by Pinhead the entire time. Wasn't working out well for them when Capital's back in the spawn. But now we're going to head to Hanamura for our next map, which is definitely going to be a good show of force if Good Boys can hold strong against Tempo.
Yeah. It's also going to be interesting to see what Mustard Man's going to run on this map. Hanamura can be a decent fire map, but it's very hard to get through that first choke on first point when you're on offense. Defense, however, is beautiful. I don't know if many people notice this, but the choke between first point and second point, there's actually a little area where you can rocket boost up and get some splash damage early on where you probably can hide behind the wall. It's in that little staircase on the left. As soon as you come through the doors, if you're on the attack, it's on the right where the mini is. If you just stand in that stairwell, you can actually rocket up and just do splash damage. Or if you're like a PDK kind of person, you like the J Silly, you can lob your mines over there as well. So, but we're seeing Torbjorn again.
Oh boy!
The best character for Halloween, the demon herself, May.
Oh boy!
And a Symmetra. So, it's going to be very interesting seeing the Symmetra and Reaper.
Well, actually, that's probably the best 2 counters that you could see for both of these teams. Looking back in the chat really quickly before we move into this, it looks like the Good Boys getting a lot of love here as we go ahead and see them push in onto the objective. I ended up using the Maywall, their Willow, to prevent Jack from teleporting into the objective so that they could fight them head on. So now they're going to kind of take the defensive here. Magic trying to move their way through the high ground, seeing if they can get those picks. The teleporter comes up, sends some turrets in to do some damage. Jack able to get the pick on the Tenzer, but Prince Willie takes down Nikolai in return. Now it looks like the Symmetra is just going to be a little too strong for this composition. The only one left nearby is the Brad, who is holding off the objective. And it looks like Good Boys in the first minute are going to go ahead and take Objective Alpha, giving them about 6 minutes to push into Objective Bravo.
Yeah. Luckily, even though that would be considered staggered from the Brad, it's such an early, change and a 1 second timer to come back in. But
That's
for
right.
Jack on the Metra, it might not be enough. Because now they're right there on the coast, ready just to push. Ooh, nice Maywall.
Ooh, but they separated out Magic. It looks like they're able to do the damage to get through, though. Molten Core Ori coming up for the Brad, and the only way for them to escape is through the way they came. The Brad gets the triple kill, looking to follow up onto Mustard Man, but Prince Willie gets to take that one. Jack being the last one to fall, and Nikolai going for the quick reset is going to go ahead and shut down that push into Objective Bravo. 5 minutes, 15 seconds remaining on the clock.
Yeah. what a great use of Molten Core there, being able to deny them area, especially when you didn't have Willow's Maywall to stop them. But, you know, Willow's Maywall right there was perfect. It's able to get them all ready for the fight before it even began. So they only had to use that Torbjorn ult. So, awesome Jill. And now both teams both have Shatter. And we got a grab on the side of Tempo, whereas Nikolai is still lagging a little behind because they won that first fight so quickly.
That is true. I want to give a special thank you to producer Booth for giving that gifted sub. Really, really cool. Oh man, teleporter comes in as we see the blizzard go down. Jack and the rest of the team in the backline. Shatter comes down from Magic, looking to see if they can dole out some damage. Capital on the high ground as that BAP just getting pick after pick with the window. First tick on the objective, 4 minutes 15 on the clock. Mustard Man now coming out with the Blossom, but it looks like Willow will hold strong going into that Icicle. Spin to win comes out for Prince Willie, gonna have to go back into spawn rather quickly. First tick on the objective, Big Slam coming in for Prince Willie as they try to clean things up. Another Molten Core already for the Brad as they go ahead and work their way back into the objective, holding them just shy of that second tick. Good Boys will get pushed off once again. Oh, never mind, they will not, as we see Jack putting up the wall one more time. Spin to win ends up coming out for Prince Willie, but I don't think that Willow got the memo there. Ended up cutting off Prince Willie just because of what came out. Magic ends up wasting the Shatter as they get taken out by the Brad. Mustard Man cleaning the Brad up, so the turret's the only one left on the field, continuing to dole out damage as we see Dwaffle and Prince Willie get those picks. Nikolai goes for the hard reset. Looks like they were able to grab that second tick during that fight, but now they're down to the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, what a great stall tactic from Prince Willie. You know, spin to win doesn't always work on any map, but right now on Hanamura, that was what kept him in there. And the Brad with 2 Molten Cores, oh, you love to see it. And not to mention, he's already 80% on another Molten Core. Jack switching finally off that Symmetra. I think he just wanted to get the wall out. That's probably why they had that fight go on. And now you're on the Sombra. So hopefully the Sombra can find value and not get caught out by the full turret.
That is true. Willow Ore having the Blizzard online, looking to see if they can grab the team here in the corner, and it looks like they will be successful to, oh no, they get out of line of sight, so it doesn't get the value that they're looking for. Dwaffle, Mustard Man all in that corner, but it looks like the Blossom comes up huge. Molten Core and Minefield try to litter the objective, and so far is holding incredibly strong. Prince Willie able to take down Pinhead with the mine, but the Brad falls to Nikolai instead. Coalescence now coming out for Tenzer. Dueling Coalescences as Capital pops one of their own as Nikolai comes in with the rockets to take down Prince Willie, but the feed from spawn I think is just going to be a little bit too much. Nikolai on the high ground ends up getting D-Mac, looking to see if they can get some value off of Waffle, but Waffle's just going to go ahead and pull back, allowing that mini diva to have to fight their way back into mech again.
And Willow, I mean, even though they didn't get the value they wanted off that Blizzard, it did slow down the fight, and Willow's also on almost at another Blizzard again. So once again, this DPS on the side of Tempo just doing an amazing job. But you got to worry, Jack's been on the Sombra long enough. You got to start thinking, does Jack have his EMP ready? Do we stay spread out, especially when you're running that Hammond? Ooh! Well,
they stayed spread out, and they did end up grabbing 2, but it doesn't look like the picks came in. Just the turret and the immortality as they group back up near the objective. Magic gets the triple with the Shatter, and the cleanup is huge. Blizzard comes in, ends up tackling out Willow, and I think ended up preventing the Blizzard from coming down. Team kill comes in, and just under a minute, we will see the Good Boys finalize on Objective Bravo.
Yeah. You know, the Good Boys just didn't seem like they wanted to stop. They looked like they wanted to try to, you know, have one of those fights where it went the whole entire time just to cap it, but I think they finally realized it was time to get off what they were on. They made the switches. That EMP, unfortunately, did not find the value that they needed it to find, but luckily Magic with the Reinhardt, just a beautiful Shatter. He did, in fact, cancel that Blizzard right there from Willow, so awesome play from Magic right there. That final tick was definitely on Magic. But once again, I'm going to say right now, Tempo's DPS with the ult charging is just insane. Now, Willow, please don't tear my heart like that already. Okay. Every time I see it, I want to just scream and shout, "Yes, let's go!" And I know you're not gonna do it.
Let's go already.
But now here's the interesting part. So now Good Boys are on defense, and like I was saying before, Thor is not easy to play on this map. Only attack first, but on defense, very strong. And Jack, well, rolling with the Torb. So you got that high damage output for the side of Good Boys. And it's a lot of spam to go through tiny little hole like that in Hanamura. And seeing the fact that they're on Hammond and Zarya, there's no shield to protect them from that spread damage. Okay, switched off the Winston.
Yeah, got the debate once more time. I think the one that I'm worried about, to be honest with you, is Nagic and Nikolai coming in on the Ball Sigma. I mean, we do have the ball that could do a heck of a ton of damage right there. As you see, Prince Willie and Nagic chasing each other down right now. The big slam comes in from Nagic, looking to see if they can take Prince Willie out of the fight, but gonna go ahead and retreat back to safety. The Brad coming out on the Widowmaker, looking to see if they can grab some value, get that distance. Damage over distance does take down Jack's turret and knows where the Far Mercy currently is. Pinhead, ooh, just barely escaping right there, but the shot comes in onto Mustard Man, taking them low, but not enough to push into the objective.
Yeah. Ooh, Willow, nice pick. Woo!
That's good, but it's not enough for them to keep that objective, though, as the res comes in. Willow having to move into the side will get healed up by Lilithy there in the end, but Magic takes down Prince Willie as the Brad falls Jack. So it is a 5v5 fight right now near the objective, and surprisingly, this composition is working incredibly well.
Yeah, well, considering you have to worry about the pharmacy, it actually allows Magix to kind of roam around and, you know, control Prince Willie when he comes through. And that's what we're seeing right now. You know, you got the ball v ball action, and it's preventing, you know, Prince Willie from actually being able to be a disturbance like he needs to be.
That is true. DeWaffle running in with the nano, ends up grabbing one as Prince Willie and the Brad cleaning up on the outside. Jack coming out with the Molten Core, trying to see if they can block him off, but Lilithy comes out with the Glock, ends up grabbing one. The res comes in for either side, bringing back DeWaffle and Capital, but I don't think it's going to be enough for them to hold on to this objective. Nagic falling incredibly low, not getting the for the minefield does come out, but that's going to be it for objective alpha as Tempo goes ahead and cleans it up. Oh, looks like Mustard Man now on the objective, but without no other help from the team, that far is going to fall incredibly quickly. 1 minute 40 seconds remaining on the clock as objective A is captured. That's going to give us 4 minutes 35 seconds to push into objective Bravo.
Yeah, and honestly, for Good Boys, that was actually a really good stall right there. Because now they have Lift, they have Barrage combo. Even though Jack unfortunately wasted the Molten Core there, because of the way Torb is set up and because his turret can help so much, just being that extra man, losing that ult is not a terrible loss. So it's just all about looking for that pick with the Widow for the side of Tempo.
I can definitely agree with that. I think the one thing that they might be running into now is the fact that the Brad is doing a really good job of keeping that turret down. And Willow now on the Sombra gonna be trying to hack Mustard Man out of the sky every single chance that they can get. Big slam comes in for Prince Willie as they move into the backline. Anti-nade goes onto the DeWaffle as they nano, looking to see if they can get Pinhead before they get the res off. Not gonna be successful, but Pinhead will end up flying into Prince Willie's mines on the objective as they try to grab that first tick. The feed comes back in. Lilithy able to bring DeWaffle back into the fight. That's first tick coming in for Tempo. Gravitic Flux now coming out for Nikolai, looking to see if they can hold strong. Not going to be a lot that Nikolai can do against that Tesla cannon as they continue to fight it out. The Brad trying to keep all of the healers in spawn right now as they just click head after head, looking to see if they can. Oh, the Brad just coming up huge on Mustard Man right there. The turret's back out. Capital now out of the fight as the picks continue to come in. EMP comes out, but the damage might already be done by the Good Boys. Second tick on the objective. The Brad is a Widow on the edge, coming in headshot after headshot right now. The only one left near the objective right now is Nikolai, falling incredibly low as as we see the swap of Capital over to the Baptiste, trying to see if they can provide some damage over distance as well as an immortality field to keep people alive. Prince Willie coming in with the slam. Molten Core comes down, takes Brad out, literally sent up onto the high ground so that they can take them out. But it looks like they're gonna continue to hold on to this objective. Only one person remaining, and that's Capital gets sent off by the Primal. 2 minutes, 28 seconds on the clock for the side of Tempo as they head back to the defense.
Jack, I don't know about you, but it feels like every time we do a Transcendence tier match, they just want these fights to go on so long that you're so out of breath. I hope you have like 4 cups of water with you tonight.
I don't have 4 cups, but I feel like I'm gonna be spending like 10 hours in the bathroom after this is all done, because I'm gonna have to keep rushing to the sink and just shooting the sprayer into my mouth after every single fight. Goodness gracious. But it's just the compositions that they're running. Like they're
all over
really dive heavy compositions that are able to feed and feed and feed and feed and feed.
Yeah, well, I mean, but hey, at least you have the Brad on that Widowmaker just looking clean. I mean, even when the fight looked like it was over, he was just getting body shots and just taking people out left and right, which... Now, I'm wondering though, since they ran the Symmetra on the first time, do you think that Tempo is going to be ready for that, or do you just think, they ran it once, they're not going to do it again?
I'm pretty sure that Tempo's ready for it. Look at the composition that they're running right now. They got DeWaffle on the in again. That's going to take care of the Symmetra turrets a lot. The biggest issue they're going to have is trying to make sure that Mustard Man and Jack are out of the fight early, and I think that that's what the Brad and Willow, are going to provide here. Provide that damage over distance, and then if the Brad can get that duplicate up really quickly, it'll work out very well for them.
I'll tell you what, though, I do appreciate Jack switching sides with a team. Ooh, big ante right there.
That's a huge ante, but the immortality field's gonna keep them up in that fight. Good Boys already have control of the objective. Looking to get that first tick right there is Brad coming up on that 50%. Another big ante coming in from Tenzer. It's just not enough for them to continue to hold on. The Brad holding strong ends up getting taken out by Nikolai in the end, but it looks like we will have them back very shortly. Lilithy able to get the res on DeWaffle after the fight is over, and with only 10 seconds remaining, they gotta get in here. This fight has gotta happen right now. Pinhead has moved over to the Lucio to see if they can get into the objective in time. Remember, they only had a minute to get in there. Capital has the window. Immortality field gets thrown onto the objective as Sleep Dart comes in on to Najik, now back up in the fight, trying to see if they can provide that health. Capital pops the window, looking to see if they can take down both Willow and Tenzer, but going to be unsuccessful. The Brad able to follow up on Najik as overtime ticking away. Mustard Man holding strong right now, using the Wraith to get out of the anti-nade that was on the objective. First tick goes for the Good Boys as the Brad able to get the duplicate online, but who are they going to be? Who is the one that is the most powerful to hold strong? And it is the Ball. The Brad coming in, looking to see if they can get a spin to win, but ends up getting pushed off the objective. 2 ticks now for the Good Boys as they continue to hold strong. A double Ball spin to win coming out. Big slam comes out for Nikolai as they continue to hold strong. Najik just swinging away, able to get the tackle onto Prince Willie and takes down DeWaffle. 30 seconds gets added to the clock as Good Boys head for objective Bravo.
Yeah, I mean, gotta give credit to Brad for trying. Oh, Pinhead just catching Brad as he was trying to escape right there. But as I was trying to say, Brad probably figured he was going to switch off the Echo for a second point, so that's probably why he committed the ult. But it almost worked in their favor if it just wasn't for the staggering.
That is true, and we see the hack coming in onto Nikolai as pops over to the Sombra. Prince Willie able to take down Jack after the Brad falls to their Widowmaker skills. Mustard Man now coming in on the Reaper, uses the Blossom, takes down the healers in the backline. First tick already on the objective. Mustard Man able to take down Prince Willie. And Najik going for the gate, looking to see if they can hold them off. First tick, second tick, third tick. The Good Boys take both objectives with only a minute and a half in their time bank. And now we're going to see if Tempo can do the same.
I'm starting to wonder, is it going through Brad's head right now? Should I have committed that Echo ult? Because, And unfortunately, he got gate blocked. He got gate blocked right there. I'm sure he would have had a better contest, but I mean, with all the bodies right there, Ball was definitely the choice to pick because you know, the Winston hadn't got back yet. So you got to pick the person with no, it was a Winston.
No, Nagic was. Nagic
okay.
was the other tank on Good Boy's side.
You know what? You know what? As soon as he died, I saw the waffle, and I was
yeah, no.
But anyway, but my point is the best tank, the best person you could have picked to stall that point was the Hammond because not only does he have 600 health, he has the adaptive shield.
Yep.
But he got gate blocked. He could not get through that gate on time. So that's just it's one of those toss up plays you have to do. Ooh, good boys. Ooh.
That might not be smart for them. I'm gonna say that right now. That might not be smart. This might not be a smart play right here.
5, 4.
I mean, it will stop the Symmetra, but the question is, will they be able to get the picks that they're looking for? I don't know. Let's see. Tempo's got their eyes out, looking around already, looking to see what they're coming in with. Here it comes! Teleporter comes up, trying to provide some kind of distance between them to Brad. Ore getting the pick onto Pinhead. That's not going to be a way to start things off. And Willow throwing down the turrets, ends up grabbing Mustard Man. The strategy could have been good, but all we saw was Good Boys just give up that objective right there. Teleporter comes in, and Tempo's got free reign to grab Objective Alpha with another half a minute on the clock. They will have 2 minutes, 15 seconds to take Objective Bravo.
Yeah, you know, that's one thing I want to say about the Good Boys right now. They're trying some insane strategies. I was trying to say before, Jack, when he was running Symmetra, was trying to use different routes each time. So that's a really good thing. You know, we get these Symmetras and they always teleport the same. Woo! The Brad!
Wow! The Brad already there grabs Capital very early in the fight, and it looks like they're already on the objective. They ain't even worried about it. Shatter comes out, grabs the double. Prince Willie goes in swinging, looking to see if they can grab the value, and the Brad is just clicking heads one more time. It's not even a contest at this point, as we just see the Brad completely uncontested on that high ground. Nikolai, the only one left near the objective, ends up getting taken out before at the remake, but Jack able to grab the Brad there in the end. A minute 30 on the clock. Tenzer pops the window, trying to keep everybody up in the fight. Nagic ends up tackling out Willow though, and Jack will take down Tenzer as well. Prince Willie swinging in the immortality, and it looks like they will hold strong. 2 ticks on the objective, but the Good Boys bring it back in the last minute.
Well, you know what the good news is? Even if Tempo does get this final tick and it goes into a double OT, Good Boys will still have a chance for a win as well.
That's true. They got it under a minute.
You know what? Their strategy may have not paid off in the short term, but it looks like it paid off in the long run. So
that is
No
true.
one can hide from
Could
my
end up working
sight.
out incredibly well for them. The sights have come up for the Brad, and as we know, those hits have been coming in huge right there, calling out every place that they are at. We have some ultimates online for either side. Bomb and Blizzard with the Shatter online. Going to the high ground. Fat Shatter comes in from Prince Willie. Looking to take down Nagic. Will be successful. Mustard Man and Pinhead to follow. Diva Bomb goes high, but Nikolai is not going to get the value they're looking for. With 14 seconds on the clock, we're headed into double overtime, folks, as we head back for round 5.
Jack, we may not get a map 9, but we are going to get several
Oh my
overtimes
gosh,
tonight.
we're going to get so many overtimes tonight.
But, you know, back to that strategy from the Good Boys. You got to think now, it slightly worked out for them now that they have a double O time chance. Do you think if they try that strategy, I don't think they should try that strategy. I don't think they will try that strategy again, because now you know that Tempo's going to be looking for it. So do you just play the choke now, especially now that it's only a minute and that first tick is so crucial? If they don't get that first tick, it makes you wonder. You know, these are all, you know, these are just those big risky plays you got to do. And at this elo, at this level of play, you can get away with it.
That's true.
But you can also not get away with it, and as of right now, it's a coin toss. We don't know yet, but you know, if they do win this map, I will say kudos to whoever said that strategy, because it was the necessary evil to try.
I guess it's always a gamble right there when you want to try to take them out earlier than the choke. And it looks like we see Tempo ready for that Symmetra one more time because they're going full brawl. They're looking to take them out on the objective. They know that's where they're headed to. That's where they're going to take them out at. Jack has been incredibly skilled on that Symmetra, despite how some may say that Symmetra has kind of a low skill ceiling. Takes a lot of strategy to use that teleporter so freely on the objective.
You know, Symmetra's like Junkrat. When you know how to use the kit correct, she's a high skill character. But when you just want to play her for spam and stuff, then yeah, she's at that low skill character. And there's a lot of those in Overwatch. She's just one of those ones that just, you know, and that's the point right there. Deleting the teleporter, just like that.
That's true. A teleporter comes up, ends up sending turrets into the backline, looking to see if they can grab that value. Immortality. Prince Willie takes it down. There's the window. And Shatter coming out from Prince Willie. Grabs all 6 and cleans them up to follow. With only 2 seconds left on the clock, the good boys ain't getting anywhere close to that objective. And now it's time to see if Tempo can do the same.
Give this man his crown. He has upgraded himself from Prince Willie to King of Shatters with that one. Talk about the timing right as the window was dropped. Oh,
that's the best time to do it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, the window is that. It is a window. It does not prevent anything from coming back at you, and I guarantee that Najik was getting ready to fire strike through that window. That is the perfect time to land a super, super sick shatter like we saw right there, folks. And the question is, with only 14 extra seconds on the clock, can we see them grab this objective when they were having such a hard time the first couple of times?
Yeah, well, you know what? I think it's definitely gonna be difficult because you see Najik on that Hammond again with the Sigma, and you see Mustard Man back on that Pharah, but this time instead of having the Torbjorn, you have Jack on the Sombra, which means Prince Willie will not be any effective on rolling through there because Jack's just going to be there to stop him. So if the Waffle doesn't die, it doesn't switch over to the Winston and dive, maybe they're thinking, they might have this feeling that Jack might be running the Sombra. They might think, hey, let's bubble before the hack happens so Willie can get out. Willingly know that this is going to happen.
We shall indeed see how that works out. It looks like Willow is going to come up on the Sombra as well, with Brad on that Widow, although normally would not be a high damage comp, as showing to be really strong for the Brad this time around. Nikolai will grab Willow as we hit the 50-second mark. Prince Willie trying to head back to the safety of the team as they go ahead and get off that objective, heading to the high ground, looking to see if they can get a pick, but gonna be a little unsuccessful. The Brad trying to take every angle they can to see if they can take Pinhead out of the fight, or Mustard Man, but currently being incredibly unsuccessful with only 30 seconds on the clock. Prince Willie's gotta make a move, and there they are on the objective, looking to see if they can get that first tick. Spin to win! Here it comes, looking to see if they can hold strong. The Brad's in the window now. This may be exactly what they need to take control. Here we go, big charge coming in. You cannot eat that laser. The Brad ends up taking down Capital, but will the res come in from Pinhead to bring them back into the fight? Big hack now coming in onto Nikolai as we Jack trying to hold strong there on the side. Almost ends up grabbing the Brad, but going to be unsuccessful as DeWaffle takes down Pinhead with no heals on the objective, and the Gravitic Flux gets canceled out. It looks like the only ones that are going to be taking this objective are going to be Tempo as they go ahead and make their percentage climb up. The feed comes in. Capital trying to hold strong as they swap over to the Lucio, but cannot hold up to the machine guns of that Hammond. 2-0 as Tempo in a wild fight takes Hanamura 5-4.
Brad just putting the team on his back like Widow with the medal. I mean, just all them headshots, and I honestly don't know if you saw, but that fight started with him taking out Mustard Man on the Pharah.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah, so, I mean, just the Widow value was just incredible from the Brad. Brad just showing us some great DPS. I mean, the Torbjorn, the Widowmaker, And Willow on that May. Ooh, I'm not gonna lie. I'd be scared to go against these two in any game.
I can definitely agree with all that Torbjorn action. Definitely pulling out all the stops on some of those objectives there. But as we head into map 3, it's going to be interesting to see what the good boys end up pulling out. Tempo showing to be incredibly strong so far. They have been the first seed after all for quite some time and have shown to be a very huge player in the Transcendence tier this entire season. But the good boys have not been going down without a fight. Their strategy is incredibly strong, but it looks like it's just coming down to those split-second decisions, like making sure that there's someone to take out the Brad when they're miles away and still getting headshots on you on the objective.
Yeah, not to mention, Jack tried hacking him in mid-fight, and Brad still got away with just a sliver of health. So very aware, especially for a Widow. You know, most Widows, even when they know a Sombra's on the other team, they typically just forget about them because they're so busy clicking heads. The Sombra's able to do the damage, but Brad, sense of awareness. Tell you what, must have been talking to my good friend Dr. Disrespect. You know, shades. Shades people have to get together.
I can definitely agree with that action. Looking over in the chat right now, it looks like there has been a lot, and I mean a lot of love for the good boys now. And it seems like it is coming up in full force. Bethcon in the chat, though, saying tempo OP, but I don't think that this is OP. I think that we're talking just about a skill difference right now, and these two teams are incredibly well skilled against one another.
Yes. But hey, if anyone wants a toy for sale, but here you are, the toy to spam.
Spam. So what are
Right
they
here.
spamming? What are they spamming the Yoda for?
Well, I'm Dad, and this is the child.
Oh.
And I see in the chat they've been saying spam this toy. So here's the toy they're spamming.
Oh, there's the toy. I get it. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to that part. All right. Well, it looks like there's still a lot of love for the good boys in the chat, regardless of the fact that they're down 0-2 right now. And of course, I can't say that I'm surprised, although I could have swore Captain Jack predicted this was going to be a lot different. It looks like they ain't saving the best for last. We're headed to everyone's favorite map, King's Row.
Oh, what a class. Perfect for legs and the hammer of justice.
That is absolutely true right there, folks. I could not see us go into a better map to try to turn things around. The good boys desperately looking to cling on to something. Although their skill has been, like Torb said, although the skill has been incredibly high for both of these teams, the good boys have just been having a hard time putting that finishing move on. Yeah. They always forget somebody on the objective, and that somebody stalls out long enough either for the team to get back or just completely pops off and keeps good boys from getting what is rightfully theirs if that's what they're fighting for. But as we head into King's Row, as we know, this is the home of Brawl. This is the home of any type of GOATS composition that you've ever seen. Although we don't get to play that, I would be surprised if we don't see some kind of a brawly GOATS type meta composition come out here from the side of the good boys, but it doesn't look like that's what we're gonna see.
Yeah, they're really sticking to that Ball Sigma.
Yeah, and that.
But hey, honestly though, Ball in this map is not terrible either. You're probably thinking, you know, the Brad had so much value that you want to kind of keep contesting him, so that way he can't be clicking the bodies and heads like he was, and that's what we're seeing right now.
There we go, Magic looking to try to chase down the Brad, trying to keep them out of position. But the Brad going to the safety of the team is going to help them out as they fight their way in. Mustard Man able to get that pick onto Tenzer to start things off as we see the separating out Lilithy, and it looks like Mustard Man will take them down as well. Jack on that Sombra showing to be incredibly strong as the objective starts to be captured. Willow is going to go ahead and icicle up, but in a 3v1, that is not going to work out very well for them. First tick going to the good boys with 3 minutes 10 seconds on the clock as Mustard Man trying to hold the gate right now, trying to see if they get those picks, but the hack comes in and the Brad is going to take them out. Sorry, not the hack, the stun in from the flashbang right there. The Brad realizing that not going to be able to hold strong right there as the Widow swapping over to everybody's favorite cowboy and just cleaning it up right now. Grabs the double, and with 2 ticks on the objective, good boys are headed back to spawn.
Just so you know, I taught him everything he knows about his aim.
Well,
No,
it
but-
looks like... Go ahead.
I was gonna say though, that was a good switch though from Jack, knowing that he's gonna have that constant Hammond pressure. Giving him the stun to get out of that pressure, or to even, like we saw, able to stop Mustard Man from being back. Ooh, big EMP though.
But immediately gets deleted by the Brad, though. Mustard Man able to take down Prince Willie, and the Gravitic Flux comes up
Oh my
too late.
goodness.
Nano, though, with the support of the damage beam, also ends up giving Mustard Man a huge boost. Grabs the quad kill right there, and with, wait for it, 420 on the clock. We will go ahead and see the good boys take it to the street.
Yeah. You know, especially with it being a hybrid map like this, people might have thought that might have been a little over commitment on the ults, but getting as much time as possible to capture the second point, especially on King's Row, is so huge. And right now, you gotta be thinking, they have Blizzard coming up. Brad's been clicking heads, so you know he's got that Deadeye ready. And there goes the grab.
Oh man, Gravitic Flux comes out, but Nikolai eats it up. As Jack able to grab the Brat in the back line right there. Looking to see if they can follow up on those kills with both DPS out of the fight. It's going to be hard for them to hold strong. But the Valkyrie wears out for Pinhead, and Nikolai takes down Prince Willie with it being a 3v6 fight on the objective. It looks like Tempo is going to have to fully head back to spawn as they try to defend Objective 2 one more time.
And look at that right there, right as I was saying, you know, you may think those ult commitments were too much, but they were able to just to win that without any ult. And Nikolai, what a huge eat from you. If it wasn't for that eat, that fight probably was going to turn the other way. So, awesome job from the D.Va player.
All right, well, we see the dive going onto the high ground as DeWaffle swapping over to the Winston now, which is going to be interesting to see how that turns out. Mustard Man comes with the barrage, gets the double kill on the heal down to Lilithy, and it looks like that's going to be objective number 2 captured as they head in with 4 minutes 10 seconds on the clock to grab objective 3 and end round 1.
Yeah. Uh-oh, we got Brad back on that Widowmaker. I don't know how well he's going to be able to contest, especially since you got both a D.Va and a Hammond on the side of Good Boys. But there's a lot of high ground to work with on this third point, so he's able to get those angles he wasn't able to in the first.
That is true, and already we see the Brad on that high ground. Nano ends up going in on the Mustard Man, looking to see if they can take the Brad out of the fight, and will end up being successful. But Lilithy is there, ready to try to bring them back into the action, but gets booped away. Oh no, still successfully gets that res off. Couldn't get booped away hard enough by Mr. Mustard Man right there. Nikolai, though, does grab the double kill onto the tanks. Brad able to take down Mustard Man. Willow holds the objective for now, holding strong on that May. The comes out, and they're going to continue to keep holding on to that objective as Prince Willie now on the D.Va, looking to see if they can dole out some additional protection there. Lilithy able to grab Mustard Man with the Battle Valk, I believe. or at least just being up in the sky, being able to swap on over. Pinhead does pop the Valkyrie going into the fight as the EMP comes up huge, grabs 2. Minefield now on the objective for Nagic, ends up grabbing Willow before they can icicle up, and the sleep dart comes in on the Brad, but it doesn't look like that's enough. It looks like the good boys still having a hard time taking this objective. Nagic slams Prince Willie into the minefield as Tenzer continues to hold strong on that objective. Lilithy ends up getting hacked out, trying to keep the payload where it's at, but will get taken down by Jack in the end. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock as the blizzard goes down. Willow able to at least grab some value on the objective by trying to take Nikolai out. The bubble goes down, and so does Mr. Mustard Man. Now the Brad out on the Bastion. Just gonna dole out all the damage that they can. Will end up getting taken out by Willow in the end, but will continue to hold strong right now as Tenzer grabs the double kill, and the big reset comes in for the good boys.
Yeah, wow. The Brad just hit scan galore right now on these characters. That's actually a really smart, switch over to the Bastion, especially when I was looking dismal. The good boys just don't seem to have a nice focus going on right now, which is causing them to make these fights last so long and stretch out longer than they need to, and cause them to slow down, lose time, and eventually losing the fight.
That's true. It just seems like there's not enough communication. Presence right there. The big hack comes in, but so does the EMP from Jack. Ends up grabbing 3 and looking to see if they can value on the Brad. Mustard Man now on the objective as the double kill, triple kill, quad kill comes in. Diva Bomb, though, comes out from Prince Willie. Not able to grab any. Gets taken down by Mustard Man. And again, just shy of 1 minute on the clock, we will see good boys grab objective 3.
There needs to be an award for who gets close to a minute without getting him consecutive. This is just insane, good boys.
This is nuts.
Like I was saying, though, it seems like there might be just a little bit, error in communication on the side of good boys, because you got Mustard Man along with Pinhead just diving the team with this pharmacy and doing tons of damage. By the way, I know I heard a producer in the background. I was just impressed as that shot 2 on the Widow grappling up. Like, Mustard Man, woo! Hitting direct rocket hits. But I think running that Sombra and running the ball was what they needed. Like I was saying on the first map on Oasis, they need to find a way. If Mustard Man's going to run this far, they need to find a way to enable him, and that's what they did. Now I'm just interested to see what's going to happen when he's going to have to go against the Brad on Echo and Willow on the Widow. Not only do we are switching over to the Hanzo, which we've already seen Willow take him out on the Hanzo. We know Willow can do it. But it's just going to be very interesting to see what he's going to deal with fighting another bird of prey in the sky. And
that is absolutely true. It's going to be interesting to see what they all can do coming in here, but it looks like... Yeah, I didn't think they were going to go with that, unless they did the Symmetra TP, which, I mean...
You can't do that anymore if you were talking about going up to the top, you can't use it in the spawn, but going to the statue would have been cool.
Oh yeah, using it in the statue would have been great. That would have probably taken out the Bar of Mercy very early, but it looks like they're going to use Dive here to move into the objective. The Brad taken to the skies as well as the Echo, looking to see if they can take down Nikolai early. Willow... early pick onto Jack, though. It doesn't look like that res is going to be available for them to move in.
Oh, he did!
By Tenzer, but the pick does not come in. Jack gets res back into the fight as the damage continues to go in on this high ground. Incredibly low, but going to be able to hold strong right there. As Capital seems to be getting chased down by the Brad right now, just not able to hold on to this objective, will get bullied out, and Jack as well trying to come in to their aid, and not going to be able to hold strong right there. Mustard Man and Pinhead go ahead and move off the objective to try to bring Capital back into the fight, and will be successful, but the picks are coming in strong now. Prince Willie gets the nano and takes Mustard Man out of the fight with only the healers on the objective, and the Dragon Strike out now from Willow. It looks like Tempo is going to go ahead and lock down this objective, but no! Nagic comes in, gets purpled, and is incredibly low, but is holding strong first tick. comes in as the minefield and the Nano come in strong. The objective is being taken over by the good boys once again, as we see the remake being used or the Diva Bomb rather being used for a remake. Capital does end up getting the pick though before they're able to grab what they're looking for, and now the Brad using the duplicate as the Pharah. Interesting, and Lilithy is on the Mercy, so that's going to work out very well for them. Doesn't end up getting the barrage off like they were looking at, but with 2 minutes left on the clock, Mustard Man trying to fight their way in, does have the barrage online, but gets taken out. The barrage is still holding strong, though. Did not use that in that fight. The Nano now goes in onto the Brad, looking to see if they can hold strong, and Jack is back in the fight with that McCree, looking to see if they can take them out. The objective is captured after a 2-minute long fight, and with 4 minutes on the clock, they will move their way into the streets.
Yeah, that fight seemed to take a little longer than I thought it was going to. But it looks like when the Brad is not on a hit scan, it's just the Brad show. He's just off on his own. You know, DeWaffle was looking to help him, but ended up getting DeWaffle killed, which, you know, strained out the fight. And what a huge stall from the good boys right there. Najik and Nikolai just doing a good job rotating on and off the point as the tanks.
That is true. And now we see the Nano barrage going in on Mustard Man, but man, Prince Willie was hungry. Just ate it all up right there. Mustard Man got absolutely zero value out of that barrage, and the picks are coming in. Not even an ultimate to be used. Nope, DeWaffle actually pops out the primal, grabs a triple kill there at the end, and with 3 minutes on the clock, the good boys are headed back to spawn.
Yeah, these divas and eating ults, oh my god. But you know, that's something you also got to think about now is when they changed Pharah's ult time and made it shorter, Diva's defense matrix is a perfect counter now because it lasts just enough to eat the whole thing, especially if you get right up in the face right there. So kudos to both Diva players on both teams right now.
That is true, and it looks like the Brad using the duplicate to see if they can get the Diva Bomb in time to clear this objective. Climbing up incredibly high right now, but falling low. Diva Bomb able to come out, looking to see if they can grab the Brad in the end, but Prince Willie's bomb grabs a double as they send it in right after the Echo one. Not enough supports to keep things going. Prince Willie, though, falls incredibly low due to the purple, but nevertheless will grab objective number 2 with 3 minutes, 30 seconds on the clock.
What a great bomb, Willie. I mean, and see, that's the beauty of having an Echo copy a Diva, is if they build that bomb, you can force the Winston bubble to come out early, which allows your actual Diva's bomb to be effective. And it's C9 the point for them, so awesome job from the side of Tempo.
That is true. That double ultimate is really working out well for them. And now Mustard Man coming out on an Echo of their own. Looks came out last round and are getting ready to come up to a duplicate of their own. The Nano ends up going in onto Najik. Look to see if they can provide the value they're looking for. Dragon Strike cutting off the line to healing, though, as Mustard Man looking to see if they can grab some value there off the high ground. Jack with Pulse Bomb now on the Tracer ends up grabbing Tenzer and Lilithy. So now healing for the side of Tempo as they try to push this the rest of the way in. Mustard Man chooses to use the duplicate, although truly the fight has already been won at this point, and is going to go ahead and try to push Tempo back to spawn one more time.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I was very interested, but now we have Jack on the Genji, something we have not seen tonight.
Interesting.
Especially against an Echo Hanzo. You know, Shimada
Echo
brothers.
Hanzo Winston?
Yeah, it's a very interesting choice, but you know what? Jack has picked interesting choices and made it work tonight.
That is true. And it looks like we already see the dives and on there's a backlines. The Winston bubble is up, and it's not going to give the heal they need to heal everybody else. Jack and Mustard Man clean it up, and that's another minute shaved off the time bank Tempo.
And actually, you know what I was just saying? It's sometimes easier for a Genji player to dive with a Winston. So having Najix on that Winston and Jack almost at a Blade with Capital, almost at a Nano, that's actually a good switch and trade for them. So play to your strengths instead of your weaknesses.
That's true, and it looks like already Magic moving their way into the
Ooh,
heads are out and will be successful. They're gonna have to use the res to bring them back in the fight, but it looks just gonna go ahead and wait it out with the primal rage of pushing them back. They're just gonna get Tenzer back in the fight. But man, that's another ultimate down, and Nano Blade might not be strong enough to take down all those ultimates.
it might not, but there's no defense ult to stop him either at the same time.
Have you heard of this thing called Diva Self-Destruct? That might be what they need. To come in with the Nano grab Willow in the end, but the Diva Bomb goes in, it takes down DeWaffle's bubble, and now the Diva Bomb goes in for Prince Willie, looking to see if they can grab the value they're looking for, and is unsuccessful. Primal now coming out for Mustard Man in the backline, looking to see if they can take down the healers one last time, but it's not going to be enough. DeWaffle chasing Nikolai into the side room, ends up getting taken down from Jack from behind, and they are now 30 seconds away from losing this map if not get their act together.
Well, Jack may have only found one, but he found the hardest hitting one, and that was Willow on the Hanzo. So sometimes wasting that 2 ults just to get that one strong pick, and honestly kept Texter out of the fight, being able to heal for a minute, which, as we can see, worked into their favor. With Nikolai having the, Diva Bomb, this is probably an easy dub for the good boys.
All right, let's see if they can make it happen. Bubble goes down, Diva goes off, grabs the double, and Jack grabs the double dash kill right there onto Brad and Willow. Tenzer able to take down Mustard Man, but falls quickly to Jack right after. The only one left near the objective right now is Prince Willie, trying to keep overtime going, but as the primal comes out from Magic and heads straight into their spawn, there's no way the tempo is going to be able to bring it back. Good boys walk away with their first victory of the night, bringing it up 2-1 before the half.
Play of the game.
Yeah, I mean, great plays from Mustard Man, and like I said, if you enable Mustard Man on a FAR, it's going to work, because Mustard Man's FAR is amazing. I saw him hit some insane direct hits, especially on a grappling Widow. Oof. So, good job. It seems like good boys have found the answer to stopping the Brad's Widow, and that is dive. So, we're about to come up to that halftime, and we're about to, have some time to chill and relax and maybe think of some strategies. Honestly, the good boys with these crazy strategies they've been going with tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some other ones like we did on Hanamura. Do you, Jack?
I agree very much there, 76. It might be exactly what we need to turn this around. Although, if King's Row is the good map for the good boys, it's going to be very difficult for them to continue to move forward, because now Tempo gets the choice after the half. Will this be good boys starting their comeback and be able to bring us to that 6th map where they will take victory? Or will this break just be what Tempo needs to get their stride back? We'll be back with more Overwatch Tranquility action in about 10 minutes.
I called you tonight. I've been thinking this for too long. Send a message, you don't reply. I'll keep looking for you, even if it's wrong. I'm sitting all alone in my room. You're stuck so high in my head. I don't care if there's no chance. I need to find you. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. If I'm still in your heart. I called you tonight. I've been thinking this for too long. Send a message, you don't reply. I'll keep looking for you, even if it's wrong. Sitting all alone in my room. You're stuck so high in my head. I don't care if there's no chance. I need to find you. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know if I'm still in your heart. If I'm still in your heart. I need to know if I'm still in your heart. I'll try to stop the road to know if I'm still in your heart. I'll try speed up road to find myself back in your heart. I'll try stop the road to know if I'm still in your heart. I'll try speed up road to find myself back in your heart. If I'm still in your heart.
Oh, sorry. I guess we're back. I was just doing a little tinkering with my camera. Welcome back to Overwatch Tranquility, where we have the Transcendence here. Grand finals going on right now. We saw Tempo doing an incredible job during the first half, bringing us 2-1 against the Good Boys. But Good Boys ain't out of it yet. We're able to take King's Row in the end to give us that 1 point. So the question remains now, will the Good Boys continue their assault and be able to take us forward, or will we see Tempo gain their stride after that good old break? I am Captain Jack, aka Discount Torbjorn, joined by Gizmo and Booth on Analyst and Production tonight. Gizmo, what do you think of what's been going on tonight?
I think we've seen the best match we've had all season long. We got to see a double overtime on Hanamura. You usually don't even see usually one team doesn't even have time at the end of the first time. So
Well,
This-
one team technically didn't have time after the first time.
I
To be
mean,
completely honest.
That's true. But anyways, it's been a wild night. God, that voice hurts my throat. But it's been an insane night. Good Boys proven that they are definitely going to be here in the finals. Taking
Mhm.
Kings Row like they did, holding tempo on that final point, just some amazing job. I think what I was trying to say before was, being able to enable Musterman on that Pharah if they're going to run the pharmacy is what they need to do. But at the same time, Jack on that Sombra was just nutty. Jack finally had some space to work and get those hacks they needed. Our producer Booth actually pointed out something very, unique on Hanamura. If Jack was able to get that hack off on Willow when Willow was throwing that blizzard, it might have gone the way of the Good Boys. So
That's true.
it's really coming down to which second DPS is getting more value tonight. Because the Brad's just been insane on the Widow, and Willow's just been awesome on that opposite DPS, playing that projectile DPS, getting the value they need, splitting people off with the walls in May, taking down a Pharah with the Hanzo, and
Oh, we are seeing the stronghold right here, right outside the spawn. Prince Willie looking to take down Nagic and will be successful as Tenzer ends up following up on that kill. Lilithy now trying to chase down Jack as the Brad takes him out of the fight, and All right, looks like we're already having some issues here. We're gonna wait and see if they get back in here shortly. But sorry. Oh man, can't see anything with that eye patch on. All right, so that was indeed crazy right there. We have been having some weather issues where some of the players are at, so it was possibly going to be an issue tonight. But so far we haven't seen anything, thank goodness. But other teams ended up rescheduling due to that. Speaking of which, we didn't get a chance to mention this at the beginning. We do have 2 matches going on right now, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on which side you're rooting for, Flashbacks have taken victory over the Jetpack Cats in the Indigo Finals for the Harmony tier. We're not 100% certain on what the score was at the end of that match, but they have already walked away victorious and will be heading into the Harmony tier Grand Final.
Yeah, that's going to be very. I'm going to already predict it's probably going to be Modify. Considering how strong Modify is running that 6-man roster, but we're finally back in the match, so
That's right.
let's get going. And what a huge start for the side of Tempo, taking out 3 early picks and just keeping them right into that spawn. It might be time for Najix to get off that ball and maybe try this May is oppressive.
That might be an understatement at this point, but Jack now on the Widow, grab some value side. Sleep Dart comes in onto Prince Willie, but not going to be enough to push them out. And Mustard Man taking to the sky, looking to see if they can push them out. Maywall goes up, trying to separate out the tanks from the rest of the team, but the Brad is just getting hit after hit, trying to keep Mustard Man out of line of sight right now. But that payload's still holding strong right there with only 2.89 meters on it. Jack finally grabs the distance that they're looking for, and it looks like Lilithy gonna try to chase them down before they get out of spawn right there. 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining on the clock, and the Good Boys finally switch it over to something that might take this down.
Yeah, I mean, Musterman actually was able to get the Brad there too, but just unfortunately no one was able to help after that, and DeWaffle just
oh my goodness! Tempo, I don't think was very happy about King's Row.
Does not look that way.
Wow, I didn't even get to come back and start casting that at the beginning, and it looks like we got another pause on the field, so gear back up there. 76, well, yours is probably easier to see through than mine. But it looks like we did end up losing Pinhead there at the end of that fight, so it does show that Good Boys are struggling to get out of spawn, and it really has nothing to do with their skill at all. It's just they can't get their healer out of that dang spawn to save their life due to connection issues. So we're going to be waiting for them to get back here in a moment. They 3 timeouts that they're allowed to use consecutively, but based on how things are going right now, what do you think? What do you think we might see with already almost half the time bank shaved off?
Well, right now, I think it might be a good time to run a spam comp.
Mm-hmm.
That may also you can't keep losing people. Willow is just getting way too much value. And this is what I was saying. That second DPS, who's getting more value? Mustard Man was finally able to find a pick. Once, you had Jack switch over to the Widow,
Mm-hmm.
just not enough. Where Willow is just constantly tearing down. And Najik's taking maybe almost too much time to switch off that ball. Going into this brawl comp, coming out with Reaper May. It's going to be who's going to get the better walls and honestly, the support. But, the good boys, they have Pinhead. And Tempo, they're coming in saying, I'm Dirty Dan. Go watch the old SpongeBob. But,
Oh my goodness.
I mean, it definitely seems like they definitely have some vigor behind them. This is something you always see coming out on Havana, and we were just saying that they picked the map and they clearly were ready to do this.
Oh yes.
And it's just insane. Like I've been saying, Willow's just getting way too much value on this May. It might be best to maybe switch to maybe a Junkrat Bastion, maybe go double shield.
Just to get out of the door.
Once you get out of the door, then you can swap to the pharmacy. You can swap to whatever you need to. But until then, you need to mow them down as quick as possible. Otherwise, they're just going to keep you in here. So.
Yeah, and the issue right now is the fact that they're not getting Pinhead back in the fight. We've already wasted about 3 minutes of their time out, I believe. So we're waiting to see. We don't have any messages from the team to determine if they're having any additional issues trying to get Pinhead back into the game, or if they've even been able to reach Pinhead at all. Maybe Pinhead's also been kicked out of the Discord. We have no idea right now. So we're just waiting to see if we can get Pinhead back in the game. And as we wait, let's go ahead and take a look in the chat and see what is going on here. It looks like Capital is noting in the chat that there are some lag issues. Pin has more ping than FPS. LOL. That's definitely not a good position to be in. So we will indeed see what goes on here. But can we give some love for our folks out there? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have cracked well over 100 viewers tonight, and we greatly appreciate you tuning in and checking out all the action. We want to remind you though, if this is your first time here, be sure to hit that heart and hammer that bell into oblivion so that you get notified every time that we're on. Still got 2 more grand finals to feature in the coming weeks, as well as the All-Star matches, so you don't want to miss those. You can also support our community by hitting that subscribe button, $4.99, or a Twitch Prime or Amazon Prime sub. We'll give you access to some cool emotes, as well as support our amazing community. So, go ahead.
And while you're at it, why don't you head over to our YouTube too and do the same thing?
That's true. You
and
should
catch the beat drop.
That's true.
I hear it's the best podcast there is besides the Tranquility podcast on Mondays, which you should also be tuning in every week.
That is absolutely true. We just finished doing our end of season award winner podcast for the Beat Drop, which will be coming up next week. So be sure to check those out. We had a really good time with those folks. We're going to be having in as well the All-Stars once they have been announced, and we'll be ending the season with an Equity in Gaming podcast, talking about how it is that we combat things like toxicity within a community such as Overwatch Tranquility. So it looks like we are still having issues. So, Producer Booth, let's go ahead and throw it over to a quick break, and we will be back with more Overwatch Tranquility in a couple minutes. Very well. I guess we're back in regardless. So let's go ahead and get back into the action. Looks like we were able to get Pinhead back in here. And with already 2 minutes off the clock, it's going to be interesting to see how they hold strong. Maywall goes up for Willow, but gets broken through as Jack swaps over to the Reaper. Graviton, Bob come in, big freeze coming out as Nagic and Dwaffle end up trading kills and the payload moves slightly forward, but it looks like they will continue to stand strong. Dwaffle is a Zarya unhinged right now. Another 30 seconds off of the clock as Dwaffle claims the payload with spray.
They're just beaming them down with the full charge. I mean, great plays, not to mention, finally though, the good boys were able to move the card, and it looks like they're finally able to leave that on.
Oh! Scatter again from Prince Willie comes in huge. Tenzer, Prince Willie, and the Brad clean up the kills that they can grab with that short shatter, and they will take it down to a minute on the clock.
Yeah, like I was trying to say though, they finally did get it moved, so now they just have to spawn trap, you know, tempo if they aren't able to capitalize that point. But hey,
oh
they
no!
have-
They won't
oh
come
my
up, but they
lord!
don't take advantage of it. Shatter comes in, gets nothing but Rhine Shield right there. The Blizzard comes in huge though, as does Pete, and they are gonna go ahead and try to clean this up. Pinhead though able to grab Dwaffle. It is a 5v5 fight right now as they continue to try to hold strong on this objective. The Brad has Bob out once again, ends up sending him into the action to try to hold strong as Prince Willie just continuing to swing at Nagic right there, falling incredibly low. But now we've got Dwaffle coming back. The Shatter doesn't get the value it's looking for, and Nagic takes Prince Willie out of the fight. With 3 seconds remaining on the clock, we're headed into overtime, and the boys are starting to get ultimates online.
Yeah, well, like we were trying to, like we were saying right before the pause, it looks like that the good boys finally made the switches they need to finally get out of the spawn. They now made this from a very difficult, let's hope we draw game to a we can win it.
Oh, Blossom coming out from Jack, ends up grabbing Lilithy there in the end. Graviton Surge looking to see if they can grab some value as the Blizzard comes out for Willow one more time, but the cleanup is just too strong for the good boys. They grab objective 1, 2.5 minutes, will make their way into the distillery.
Nico, you're making that Poco skin look proud. That's another grab that Nico ate. Huge
Wow.
play. I mean, just the Diva plays tonight are just insane, especially from Nikolai. So kudos to you. Awesome job wearing that Philly Fusion skin. I know Specs is in the crowd and he's like, yes, yeah, that's right. But finally, it's starting to look up for the good boys on Ivana.
Oh, Shatter comes in huge for Nagic, but the freeze is in the opposite direction. Battling Coalescences point themselves into the corner, and it looks like the Brad's Bob will get the value that it's looking. The Brad falling incredibly low, trying to get taken out by Capital, but will not grab that pick. With a minute 30 remaining on the clock, we see the defense set up right under the bridge.
Yeah. Right now, it's looking pretty favorable for the good boys, though, because they do have that Blizzard Bomb coming up, which was a very class favorite in last season in Tranquility, and just overall Overwatch, just because we got to see it so much in Owl.
Whoa! They're speeding up to this high ground. Shatter comes in, grabs nothing but Nagic Shield. Blizzard comes out, gets Prince Willie in the end. As the Diva Bomb gets absorbed by Shield as well. Dwaffle and Capital trading kills right there. Now the Blizzard comes out for Willow, looking to see if they can retake control of this objective. Capital looking to see if they can get that pick. Dwaffle incredibly high charged right now as we see Prince Willie back in the fight. Coalescence comes out as Dwaffle sends out the Graviton Surge. Ends up grabbing a few, but the pick coming in just yet. The Brad has a Bob back online and is going to throw it right into the action, looking to see if they can get those picks. The barrier goes down for Nagic, but the Maywall comes up. Shatter comes in from Nagic, pinning Prince Willie against the wall. And then the picks start coming in for the good boys. Blossom Jack on the high ground takes down Willow, and once again we are in overtime territory as Tempo will have one last shot to try to grab this objective.
Yeah, good boys just gnawing away at the line of trying to get the second point. And what a great wall by Mustard Man. Actually, it looks like it was going to be enough.
That might be enough for them to touch it, just barely 1.53 meters as Mustard Man takes down Prince Willie, but the Brad back in as the Reaper might be enough for them to hold strong. Gets the double kill as and Lilith fall, and now with Willow on the objective, they have the Blossom ready and raring to go. Look at see if they can lock it down at the last moment. Mustard Man and Capital grab the picks that they are looking for. Prince Willie still holding strong right there, still at that 1.53 meters as we see them get tackled today. The good boys will grab objective number 2 again, just barely from the jaws of defeat as they head into objective number 3.
Yeah. You know, right now, good boys not making it smooth selling for Tempo, showing that, hey, you kept us in spawn long enough. We're now just going to keep pushing through. Willow, oh, the Brad's on that Widow. And he gets a nice hit.
That is not what you want to be seeing right there, and it looks like Jack has swapped over to the Widow, knowing that that is what was going to happen too. 60 seconds remaining on the clock. Batter comes in, grabs nothing but shield. The Blizzard goes up, but so does the beat. Prince Willie able to take Magic out despite the beat that came out, and now we see the Blizzard coming in from Mustard Man. Diva Bomb goes high and doesn't have the value it's looking. Pinhead will end up taking down Prince Willie in the end, but the payload is still stalled right outside the gate. 30 seconds remaining on the clock as Waffle, again, highly charged as that Zarya ends up getting taken down by Magic in the end. And it looks like the good boys will start moving it in, but again, we're headed into final fight territory.
Yeah, that Diva Bomb Blizzard actually got the value they needed just because the beat drop kept the Rhine in the fight. Prince Willie did not die from that, but it got him low enough to where he was able to finally get taken out, which is now why the good boys are up on that final choke. And Jack showing us some good Widow on his side from the good boys.
Oh no, didn't eat that grab that time. Shatter comes in, grabs nothing but Magic's shield as they continue to fight their way in. Jack and Mustard Man are down as the Brad takes Jack out from a distance, but Magic able to grab DeWaffle and a Tenzer. On 4 fight, looking to see if they can hold him up. The Immortality Field holds strong. Magic has the Shatter online. Oh, but big block coming in from Prince Willie, continuing to hold strong. The D-Mech comes in. Here's the Blizzard in from Willow, looking to see if they can grab the value that they're looking for. But the picks come in strong. Everybody's frozen in place. That means it's Brad's playground. Grabs the double kill, as does Willow, and we'll get that final objective stalled out with just a couple meters remaining.
Well, what was looking dismal on the side of good boys is now looking very hopeful because we've already seen them on the payload part of a map hold them on that final point from getting anywhere close to it. So it's definitely winnable for the good boys. I will say though, what a huge wall play by Willow there at the end. Willow was actually able to put the wall up in front of Nikolai, preventing the eat of the grab. For those of you who don't know this awesome mechanic with when it comes to the demon herself, if she throws up a wall, Diva cannot eat through the wall itself. So if you're trying to get a Blizzard off or you're trying to get a grab, it's always a good idea to throw that wall just in front of the Diva, so that way you're able to get off those amazing ults that are for zoning or just winning a team fight like that.
And I think that's exactly what they were looking for right there, is to Maywall to their advantage. It worked out incredibly well for them. As we see good boys going on the defense, they're going to come back out with this Ball Sigma comp, which, I mean, can work, but I don't think we're going to be seeing any spawn holds like we saw for the side of Tempo.
No, but they might be thinking because we're on a payload map that we might see a Torb or we might see a Bastion, and a far from the Brad. This is not looking too hot for the J Silly Jack himself.
Yeah, that might not be a good position for them to be in, and it looks like they've already grabbed control of the objective. Maywall goes up. Willow is going for it. Magic's getting ready to go down, but the Immortality does indeed save the day. Mustard Man in their spawn trying to get some shots in from behind. Jack does take down Prince Willie, but the damage is already done. The rest of the team falls to tempo, except for the Far Mercy, who is trying to hold the spawn doors close. And it looks like they will continue to do so as the...
Woo! So, yeah, I think maybe running the Junkrat Pharah was not the best choice when it came to this defensive hold, especially on first point. You gave up a lot of ground, and it's very important on Hanamura to kind of spawn trap him on the first point. Because now there's just the free first point.
That is
And
true.
5+ minutes for second point? Ooh, that is going to be very huge. But we do see Jack switch over that Widow, probably to help test the Brad, and he was looking like he was doing that on their offensive push, so...
Oh! Well, the test doesn't come in if you get domed quick, and that is going to be one hero already down for the good boy. Coalescence coming out. Chatter is bad! And there's the cleanup in from Prince Willie and Tenzer. That is it for objective number 1. 5 minutes on the clock as we see Tempo make their way into the distillery.
The King of Shatters still cleaning that crown for tonight. Willow? I'm going to say right now with that Blizzard coming up,
No one
it's
can
going to be
hide
hard,
from
especially
my
with the sights.
sight.
You just got to make sure that, once again, that wall, make sure you can use it to your advantage. And probably not too much going on because, you know, this is mid-fight where we're waiting, but let's see if Najix can answer the Shatter back with his own fat Shatter. Especially now that one ball is out. Ooh!
Oh,
great grab.
using the corner to go ahead and lock them down. The Blizzard comes in huge, and Najik and the rest of the team to that deeply. Najik looks to be the only one that's going to fall, but it's going to be incredibly hard for them to hold on to this objective. Mustard Man falls, but Jack now on the McCree ends up taking the Brad out of the fight, and that payload is moving its way into objective 2. Very furious.
Yeah, and I think right now on the side of the tanks, probably running that Zarya is a little more... Ooh! Fat Shatter.
Whoa! Oh, look at that wall come up from Willow. Ends up blocking Najik's charge into trying to take down Prince Willie, but it looks like they will still fall. Now we got Brad on the legs. Ends up taking down the rockets, and Tenzer will follow up by taking Pinhead out, keeping Brad from falling. It looks like the Coalescence now coming out from Capital, looking to grab some value as they continue to fight for control of the objective. Tenzer and DeWaffle just supercharged right now. Deadeye coming out, but it's all behind the card. So does the Diva Bomb. Graviton Surge comes out, but it's a little too far back. Doesn't get the suck factor that they're looking for to keep them off the objective. Now the Blizzard coming out from Mustard Man, but Prince Willie gonna go ahead and hold strong thanks to that bubble, but not strong enough as Nikolai takes them out of the fight. Willow has a Blizzard of their own. Look to see if they can answer it, and Mustard Man gets domed by the Brad, as does Jack, and it looks like that's going to be objective number 2 with 2 minutes 40 seconds on the clock. The trickle keeps coming in. Pinhead the only one left near the objective, but gets taken down by Willow. And that's objective number 2. 4 minutes remaining on the clock, and only about 90 meters to its final destination.
All I gotta say is I still got it.
You do, you do.
What a... I mean, Brad with some huge direct hits on the Helix Rockets. You know, this man is just cracked on his DPS. Jack with his Tracer might be a little trouble, but, you know, the way he's been flicking these rockets, maybe not.
Whoa, Tac Visor coming out from the Brad. Ends up getting off the objective, though. Looking to see if they can hold strong. Doesn't get the value that they're looking for. Magic comes from the side, ends up taking down DeWaffle, but the Shatter, or the shield keeps everybody else up. Prince Willie grabbing the Shatter of their own, but not looking for because Najik is in their back line trying to do some damage. But they will end up grabbing control of the objective once again, not losing a single hero in that team fight, and still have 3 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, I think right now running the Zarya over the Diva is kind of a huge advantage for Tempo because you're able to cleanse people off from a Blizzard or just Maze Freeze in general. And Willow's walls have been insane both protecting and attacking.
Oh
my
The
goodness!
Brad going on the flank takes Jack out of the fight very early, but as the Tracer, they're gonna have a lot of space to work with. The Maywall comes up from Mustard Man, but they don't expect the Graviton to come in as well. Blizzard follows as DeWaffle able to grab the kill on Pinhead as Jack falls to the Brad one more time, but the Maywall separating out, proving to still be too strong as we see Lilithy pushing the payload by themselves. 9 meters remain as we see Tempo get prepared for another push.
What a great hold up though by Good Boys being able to stop. They're right there on the edge of being 3-1. They need it to be a tie right now, and switching over to the Doomfist because you're not getting the value on that Tracer, Jack, that is a smart play by you.
That is true. Maywall comes up trying to separate out the Tac Visor from the rest of the team. Coalescence and Blizzard come out from Capital and Mustard Man, able to grab DeWaffle there in the end, and so gonna go ahead and pull back just a little bit. Coalescence comes out, but so does the Maywall. Takes down the Brad in the back line. Not gonna get the value there, trying to flank it out, and with 1:30 remaining on the clock, Tempo has lost some speed.
Jack finally getting to say, "Talk to the feast."
Uh-oh.
But the Brads decide.
Brad's back out on the Widow. That might not be good for them either. Shatter coming out from Prince Willie takes down Nagic, and that might be, without the staying power of that Rhine, it can be very difficult for them to hold strong. Yeah, I heard the Blizzard come out, but Nikolai gets the eat. That might be what they need to continue to hold strong. Jack falling to the Brad as Prince Willie takes down Mustard Man. The picks keep coming in, but they're not enough. The Maywall separates out the bomb from the rest of the team and continues to hold strong. Graviton Surge comes out as we see the pick continuing to come in for Tempo, holding as strong as they can, but it's not going to be enough. The Good Boys shoot them off of the spawn once again. Just another 7 meters and they've got it, but Good Boys will not let them have it.
Oh my goodness. You know you're in trouble when the Brad decides to switch to the Widow. But Jack just constantly saying, "Talk to the feast. I'm king."
10 seconds.
Well, I mean, Willow is now on that Sombra, which could be huge for them. We see the Meteor Strike going into the backline. Brad getting taken down by Jack, and almost the follow-up coming in on to Tenzer as well. The hack comes in onto Nikolai, keeping them off the objective. Beat drop comes in. Win to win. Prince Willie just trying to push everyone and anyone off that objective. Slam ends up hitting the high ground as they continue to fight for control. Willow has EMP, ends up grabbing all three. The cleanup comes in huge, and the objective is captured by Tempo, taking the lead 3-1 in our matchup tonight. Or holding the lead, rather.
Play
Well,
of
young
the
punk, stay off my lawn because Tempo's taking it away with 3-1.
But, you know, honestly, this match, no matter what the score says at the end, it's been an amazing match. It's been neck and neck. Neither team, except for on the first map, has, you know, had a clear victory. And what I mean by that is we've seen both teams fight very hard. The battles have just been constant. Even when it wasn't dive right there, Jack, it was almost a nonstop fight there for the last 2 minutes of that map.
I can definitely agree with that, Gizmo. It has been working out incredibly well for the Good. Can't land that last hit, that last denying of the ultimate that they need to keep Tempo off track. The beat is strong with this team, and we are headed into what could possibly be the last map of Season 5 Transcendence tier. We are just waiting to see what the Good Boys are going to pick. Remember, this is a control map, and they had a very difficult time against Tempo when we saw them on Oasis. So the question is, do they have the steam left in them to beep, reverse sweep, or will Tempo end their misery quickly and take them out on control?
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting fight coming up. I think we're probably going to see them do. It seems like the Brawl is definitely a better pick versus the Dive.
But Najix just showing his ball is insane with the stall.
That is true.
And the best part is, it's not Oasis, so ball can be a more value pick coming up on these
That
further
is
maps.
true. But remember though, Prince Willie's ball is what got them into that last point there at the end. They were able to swap over and just be an absolute nuisance round and round with that spin to win. And it looks like our next map is going to be Lijiang Tower. As we know, there are lots of pillars in at least 2 of the maps that they might play on that will be great for the spin to win. So we're probably going to see a lot of ball and a lot of stun to counter the others. Wait,
Yes.
that doesn't sound right. Oh. Somebody talk to legal. Let's get that record.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see some dive from both teams, I'm sure. Both teams have shown a lot of monkey. Both teams have shown a lot of ball. And we've seen a lot of diva from Nikolai tonight. So, being the fact that we're on Lijiang Tower, especially until it probably comes to a certain map that we all know and love called Control Center, it's probably going to be running that dive on both teams. I'm sure when we come to that Control Center, we're going to see the Zarya Reinhardt. And I think that might have been, like I said, just the little slight advantage was able to cleanse off the Mei. And the Waffle was just constant high charge, constant burning. So that's something you got to think about too. And it's not like it's not like the good boys had characters out that were spam damage that were, building up that charge. It was just great bubble usage from the Waffle.
Yes. Absolutely well worked for the side of Tempo. And it looks like our first map of Lijiang Tower is going to take us to the Night Market, which I feel is going to be the most brawly map of them all, seeing as there's no central pillar for them to spin around. And possibly we might see Jack come back out on that Symmetra that we saw during Hanamura.
Yeah, it's definitely a huge strategy. Now, I can't remember who it was, but we did have someone in B Drop who really thinks running that Symmetra, especially on Night Market, is kind of like a throw pick. But as far as we can see right now, it looks like Jack is running that Tracer, and we have Mustard Man on the far. But Night Market is a great Widow map. It's very small, very tight corners, which most people don't think. But when you're cracked out of your mind like the Brad is with that Widow, you can get away with it. Oh,
5,
of course, he switches McCree because it's definitely a little more safe to run that.
1.
They're probably thinking that, they've seen Jack on that Symmetra, so let's meet them on point.
That may be true. Or a scene in the chat countering hashtags. NPC saying hashtag do it for dirt, good boys. And Sir Andy saying hashtag up the tempo. But already we see the Symmetra teleport out well for Tempo as they have, they did have the objective there for a moment as we Mustard Man pushing them off and keeping them at bay. But it looks like with this composition, we'll continue to see Good Boys kind of holding strong right here. But no, control goes over to Tempo without having that main tank really can hold the objective and give that staying power. It's going to be really difficult for Good Boys to hold on to this point. All right, Barrage Array coming out for Mustard Man as they go ahead and try to hold strong right here. DeWaffle gets taken down, and now it is up to the coalescence of Tenzer to try to hold strong. Willow ends up getting the pick on the Mustard Man in return as the Nano Willow sending up the wall, the shield of life as the shatter comes out from Prince Willie. Just so many ultimates being poured out right here, but none of them landing where they need to for the Good Boy. Big reset comes in, and at the 50% mark, continue to see Tempo climb. Oh no, I think we lost a Grill Master there. Must have had some connection.
I'm muted. That's my fault.
Oh, no bad.
It's all good. So as I was trying to say, now that Najix is got the minefield up and they don't have to worry about the Symmetra wall taking out some of it, it's just making sure that Prince Willie is either hacked or his shield's gone. But Dang, the Brad just not letting Jack get away with that.
That's right. Mustard Man, though, does grab the double, and the mine goes out for Magic. Gotta see if they can continue to grab that value as we try and go down to Mustard Man. That will be control of the objectives, actually still for Tempo, still holding strong. The Brad falls down, but I feel like a Lilithy still hanging out in that high ground. Wall right into victory right there. And it looks like with all those picks, Tenzer, the last one to go, they will trigger overtime and let it go so the good boy can take the objective.
I mean, what a close call there for the good boys. One thing the good boys have struggled with on these control maps is the focus. They're focusing wrong targets. We watched Magic right there go for the McCree. McCree's got low mobility. He has low survive rate. Where Lilith was able to get it to that 99 because Lilith is loose. So that's one thing you got to think about when you're on these control maps is who is priority? Who's got the best survival? Ooh, Mustard Man.
Well, priority seems to be Lilithy and Prince Willie, although Prince is able to get away. The beat comes in from Capital, trying to hold everybody together as they continue to spam it out. Magic grabs Willow, and Tenzer falls to Mustard Man as the percentage continues to climb for the good boy.
Yeah, I remember one night I was actually on this very map and I was yelling at my team because we did not focus on Lucio just rolling around. So, Mustard Man, I think he's learned. We take care of little roly-poly around the pole and we're good to go. And since there's no Hammond, the roly-poly falls onto Lucio.
That is true. As we see the coalescence coming out for Tenzer, big EMP able to grab Nikolai, but trades gets the double right there. DeWaffle falling, but the Brad gets the Far Mercy with the Deadeye. Magic, the only one left near the objective right now as the mine comes out. Oh no, Capital there too, but gets hacked out. Not going to be able to provide the healing. They're looking for 80%, for 81% rather, for the side of Good Boys. Time now ticks away. Jacket back in on the Genji, trying to touch the objective to trigger it, and we see the barrage come out from Mustard Man, get taken down by Willow. The beat comes in from Lilithy, and that is all she wrote. It looks like the night market will go to Tempo.
Yeah, I think probably one thing that I heard the good boys there was starting off with that Tracer. Tracer is a great pick, but when you're running that pharmacy once again, you're especially on Night Market is a good map because you're able to like rotate around, but the Sombra hacks are just so much more valuable, and Will got so much value off that Symmetra. And now because we're on Garden, we're going to see that dive come out from both teams, so we're going to see that Ball and Diva versus the Winston and Ball. And from what we saw on Oasis, the Ball Winston was a little stronger than the Diva.
That is true. I wonder what the value will be for either team. It's a new map. It's a new opportunity. Let's see if they can make it work. The balls are both on the objective, fighting it out right now as Capital ends up, I'm guessing, getting sent over the side due to Prince Willie there. The hack comes in from Willow. Ending up getting the DMEC onto Nikolai. Oh, maybe not. Just barely able to hold strong. Now the hack comes in on the Man. Willow just holding up strong, but Mustard Man does take Lilithy out of the fight, preventing any boops from happening there in the end. Jack now in the back line, looking to see if they can grab some value as well. The jump comes in. DeWaffle able to take Jack out of the fight, but falls incredibly low. Magic takes them out. The spin to win. Out from Prince Willie, looking to see if they can indeed hold strong on this objective. Control looking to go over to Tempo, but just not yet, as Mustard Man continues to hold strong. Magic able to take down Tenzer, but Willow follows up onto Mustard Man, and there come the picks one more time, and oh no. It looks like we will see a DC now on the side of Tempo as they end up losing their Diva, or their Ball, rather.
Ooh, that's unfortunate because he did have Minefield up as well.
Oof. That
Got
is
it.
not
You
a good
hate to
position
see
be
that.
in.
You hate to see that. At least when Pinhead got DC'd last, there was no ult charge, so.
That's true. That is very true.
But the way that Prince William has been playing the ball, it won't take long for them to get there. So I wouldn't be too worried for the side. And considering the point hasn't been captured yet, you still got full time on this map of Garden. And they do have the comfort of already having taken Night Market. We've seen how strong they are with the Brawl, and if it does end up going to Control Center, it'll be fine.
All right. It looks like it was just an issue with the game. It just immediately shut down for Prince Willie, but we got them back into the action. So let's go ahead and throw it on back here shortly to get things started. The chat looks like they're continuing to pop off. I have not been able to keep up all night with everything that's been going on. Still over that 100 viewers. Y'all are absolutely incredible.
Very.
All right, looks like we're back into the action. Capital and Jack able to grab both a Willow and Brad there at the end, but Brad now back on the Soldier 76. Gonna give Mustard Man their due and take them out with eggs. Coalescence coming out as, oh no, another pause on the field as we wait to see if this is going to be another DC. Right now, the battle is between Prince Willie and Pinhead, based on how things are going. All right, so it looks like someone is having issues with their ping right now, which has triggered the pause. It looks like they're just going to go right back into it. Unfortunately, Good Boys do not have any. Based on how the rules work, you use them first, and then it's up to the team whether we continue on or not. And it looks like although Good Boys are fighting it out real strong, B comes in from Capital. They might end up taking this objective. The Primal comes out from DeWaffle, trying to send everybody off of it. But now the Barrage Diva Bomb might be exactly what they need. Minefield on the point, but Tackvisor comes out, ends up getting the double kill for Willow. Actually, not anywhere near going down, but Good Boys are making that objective climb right now. The dive comes back in for the side of Tempo, and it looks like they will quickly retake this objective.
Yeah, I feel so bad for Jack right there. He was in the middle of EMPing when that pause happened. So, what a strong pick by both the Waffle and Lilith. But I mean, that's unfortunate what happens with these online games sometimes when you lose these connections, especially in these tournaments where we can pause and stuff. You know, right where I was saying, you know, Prince lost his minefield, I guess the game said, okay, we're going to make sure that Jack loses EMP, therefore it's like a reset.
Wow, well, that did not work out well for them. They were able to hold it off, and it looks like Willow kind of sitting here in the back line, just waiting to get those off before the dive comes in. 36% and climbing right now as we go ahead and see the EMP go off for Jack. Gets two, and the Barrage able to take down the Brad, but DeWaffle takes down Jack in return. Not able to grab the value, and that was thanks to Widow taking out the Translocator. Minefield now goes out. The Valkyne Pinhead able to get out of the action, and comes the beat from Capital one more time along with the Valkyrie, but no, 4-man EMP might not be enough for them to hold on. The Brad double kill, and Control continues to hold for the side of Tempo. We might be headed into final fight territory.
Yeah, right now all we have on the Good Boy side is that Diva Bomb, which on this particular map is not a very strong goal. It can definitely clear some room, but it has a low pick potential just because of all the space you can hide behind. And the fact that you have DeWaffle and the Monkey, you do have that bubble to protect as well. Right now, Jack needs to build that EMP up as quick as possible to hopefully get that winning condition for this next fight.
Or get the hacks on who they need to, and it looks like Jack already getting targeted by DeWaffle right there. Pops the Primal, sending Jack out of the spawn, or out of the area. Nikolai throws the Diva Bomb on point, but doesn't get the value they're looking for. DeWaffle taking Jack out, not going to get the value that they're looking for, as Capital ends up sending DeWaffle into the abyss right there. Was just waiting for the jump to get back into the action, and when they jumped, Capital said, nope, not gonna let that happen. Barrage is online. Mustard Man looking to use it to their advantage to take this point back. 99% and climbing as we minefield coming out for Prince Willie. Mustard Man uses the barrage to... Here comes the attack visor out from the Brad. Will this be it? Capital using the beat to try to keep them up in this fight, but it looks like that will be it, folks. The feed continues to come in, but Good Boys have lost the objective, have lost Lijiang Tower, and Tempo takes away the victory 4-1 in our Grand Finals Trans-Tier matchup.
Man, though, Good Boys putting up a very good fight to the very end. Showing us that they definitely deserve to get that second place position. Mustard Man, awesome bar. But you know what? At the end of the day, he who comes away with the belt is the champion, and that is Tempo.
That is absolutely true there, Gizmo. Guard blowing it up in the chat. Who y'all want to nominate for your player of the match? We have had a lot of amazing players this evening, and I am really going to have a hard time picking, so I'm going to so that Gizmo picks first.
Oh, I feel like you always do.
Not always.
I think everyone probably thinks, Gizmo's a Widow player, and so he's going to have to go with the Brad. But I'm telling you right now, that would not serve Willow the Just. The May difference was just incredible for them. The second DPS was just so much better for the side of Tempo. That's why Willow is getting my vote for tonight's.
And as Captain Jack being a tank player, you would think, because I love shatters from Prince Willie, you think I'd pick them. But you'd be wrong, because off for the side of Tempo, DeWaffle absolutely doing an incredible job with bubble management. Every time the fight came down to a couple of, it seemed like DeWaffle was hot and ready to zip everyone out of the action with that big old beam. Booth, you honestly should be very proud of the skills that came out from DeWaffle. Would you like to go ahead and throw your player of the match into the ring for this?
That's a tough one. I mean, for me, it was really Willow and Waffle. I think we're just insane on the side of Tempo. But it's really going to come down to it. I think I've got to give it to Lilithy, actually. There were so many times Lilithy's anti-nades, like on Havana, Hanamura. Oh my goodness. Like, there were so many fights they won purely based off of that alone. It was really a fantastic job, but also then main tank-wise over on the side of Tempo, they did. I mean, how many times are they getting 4 or 5 man shatters and then flexing over to the Diva as well? So, really a great job for them out of there. But there's so many times I can go back to almost any map here and list players on both sides and winning them points. On Hanamura, that second overtime push on the attack. That wouldn't even been close to happening if Capital wouldn't have had a great immortality placement and window there for Good Boys. Then on the third point, there was such an amazing hack done by Tempo that took out the Blizzard that was available, or if not, Good Boys would have won Hanamura. So, I mean, you can go to any map here and find somebody that completely dominated, and that's so rare to see in games like these. Sometimes you end up seeing just one player stomp through the whole night and have just like an absolute MVP showing, but I think almost every map you can find somebody that easily did something just so extraordinary that it won them the map for their team.
I can definitely agree with that, folks. Although the score does not do this night justice, each map was incredibly close for either team. So good, lots of love to both Tempo and the Good Boys, but we can only crown one winner tonight, and that is gonna go to Tempo. Looking in the chat, it looks like the chat disagrees with you, Gizmo. It's the Brad Show. It's Brad.
Hey,
but
all I'm going to say is,
we'll get some love in there as well. But then it's Brad.
Hey,
The Brad.
because he was enabled. Willow enabled him. You got to think about it. It's like Sinatra. He had to get enabled to play awesome on Doomfist.
That is true. That is very, very true. Well, folks, we want to thank you so much for joining us this evening. Be sure to check us out tomorrow evening, where we will be doing
a match. Not for certain which one yet, but we're getting some replay codes so that we can give you one of the Harmony or Discord tier matches that ended up playing this evening. So be sure to check us out 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here at twitch.tv/OWTranquility. Or if you just hit that hard, punch that bell, or hit that subscribe button, you won't have to worry about that because notifications on your PC, tablet, or phone. And then you won't have to worry about any of. With all that being said, thanks so much for watching Overwatch Tranquility. My name's Captain Jack.
I'm Gizmo Charmin.
Thank you so much to Booth for producing tonight, and we'll see you all next time.